It's fine. Everything hits. Hey, welcome to, here we are, as Trey says, the WellRED podcast, wellredcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com. That's where you can, oh my God, we're saying it, buy tickets to come see us back on the road. We're booking new dates every day. So if you don't see your city on there, but we usually come there, it's probably a good chance that we're going to. And we're super excited. Speaking for myself, at least one of us has been out on the road a little bit though for the past couple of weeks. And I've been seeing pictures and I've just been delighted at what seems like pure joy, because I know that this man is not able to fake it. Drew, how's the road been treating you and DJ?
Man, the road sucks, but stand-up comedy, whoo, it's still fun, boys. It's still the most fun you can have without cheating on your wife and getting AIDS. But it's been so fun. Me and DJ been closing it out, doing stuff together. He's been doing. We've been our little cult, our little Eat Fruit Fridays. Some of you out there listening have joined us for our comedy shows we were doing during the quarantine every other Friday. He added to that like an art exchange, because so many people would send us stuff they made. Yeah. He just started displaying it and talking to the people who made it. We added that to our show instead of merch. DJ's just been dragging this art around, and he led an art parade through Market Square, impromptu, trying to find his car that he had lost. And I knew where it was, but he had since moved it and forgotten where he moved it. So they're just carrying art, just a bunch of people in shirts with a possum on it that say yeah on them.
Following DJ around.
Yes, while I follow behind them filming everything.
Well, that doesn't sound like Waco at all. That's absolutely.
Listen, the only difference between a fake cult and a real cult is whether or not the FBI shows up the last week, and we ain't got there yet. So exactly. We've been hitting. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back. We should probably mention something about Atlanta.
Oh yeah, we should. We should mention something about Atlanta.
Yeah.
Pretty Raven.
Yeah,
our bad.
I had to start with it ain't, but it's not.
It's not our bad, but we also don't want to bury anybody else.
I also want to. I know, right? Exactly. That's what makes it difficult.
Well, I've been thinking about a way to say it that is true and lets people know what's up and puts us in a good light, guys. As people go back to work, some people aren't. Yeah. Because of not being treated the way they want to be treated, and we didn't want to be on the wrong side of that. We didn't want to force anyone's anyway. I think that makes sense.
I don't know that we like maybe they're. We don't
know.
Look,
I'll just fucking say the thing. We were gonna play the Variety Theater on July 10th, and we are not. It is now September the 17th, and the reason for that is because the Variety. I think I've probably done a thing, but regardless of all that, the reason that we're not playing it on July 10th is because the staff at Variety will not be back. And contrary to popular belief, you can't just show up and do a comedy show without a staff. Like you need somebody to take tickets. You need people to control the sound. Yada, yada, yada.
17th. Okay.
September 17th. We will be at the Variety Playhouse. The reason that this is so frustrating for a lot of you that are maybe you're from Atlanta and you've held tickets to the show, this show's been postponed like 4 times, but it's the only one of ours that's the case. So that's not like normal to us, but it sucks because it not only is Atlanta like, the capital of the South and was going to be a tremendous place for us to return to. Right. I consider it one of my in comedy, I've got 4 separate homes, and Atlanta's always felt like one of them. So it's a huge bummer, but please, y'all, I promise you it wasn't on purpose, but we will be there September 17th, 6 days after the holiday, and it'll be fun.
There's remind me later. Anyway, well, actually I'll just remember to bring it up later, but yeah, like Corey said, there's just a million reasons why this particular show getting rescheduled again is particularly frustrating for us.
And we want everybody to know it ain't like we didn't want it to happen. We were against it.
It was totally out of our hands completely. However, we're not saying that the venue fucked anything up. It's just the reality of the situation. It's just what has happened. Again, I think
the
concessions need to be made for,
of course,
the circumstances that we are all existing in right now. Everything's trying to get back to the way shit used to be, and there's going to be hiccups, and that's really all that has happened here.
Well,
but it does. We're not any happier about it than I'm sure some of y'all are about it getting moved again. But it just is what it is.
And it
we
does
will be
seem
there in
from our
September.
end that the venue's doing the right thing. I want to be clear about what I was saying earlier.
sure.
There's not like a labor dispute going on. What I was getting at is like, we didn't want to be a part of forcing that back. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
hiring people who weren't the old staff for less money. They're not doing that seemingly. We didn't want to be a part of that. It's just better to wait.
Yeah. It's just, it sucks because it's so reminiscent of how the past year and a half has been where, oh, we think something's
Right.
great and then it's not.
That too.
But, like it was kind of a flashback of that because like for real, we not necessarily COVID wise, but at least our careers wise, it was starting to feel like, oh my God, like we were watching the ticket sales, we were booking up new stuff. And it was like, all right, man, the worst part of it's in the rearview mirror. And it very much is.
But
I
it's
think
Unless you're from
it's
Atlanta.
been pushed
Right.
back
Yeah.
again. And yeah, like you said, it's just this whole time, everything it's just been pushed back so many times and for so long, the return to something resembling normalcy. And obviously not just for us, for everybody. And then for us, it takes the form of getting back to shows and stuff like that. And so for that start date, because Atlanta was the first one, for it to get pushed back again, even though it's like we're talking about 2 weeks, because Birmingham is now the first shows and they're July 23rd and 24th. And we're thrilled to be coming to Birmingham.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be a great, welcome back situation as well. But for it to be the first show's back finally and for them to get moved again and everything, it is disappointing, but we will be there and it will hit in September. So
yeah. And going back briefly to DJ, we've had people come up from Atlanta. I want to thank them. I want to shout out Granny Beaver for driving from St. Louis. I want to shout out Annie from Alaska, from flying to Alaska to spend the weekend hanging out with folks. We have people come from all over, and just another slight, like this is low down on the list, but DJ and I have been wanting to do Atlanta, and I've been waiting until after the WellRED show for both contractual and just, polite reasons. And now we got to push that back. But I know Atlanta wants us because I know that some of them drove to Birmingham, and I can't wait. And shout out Bobby Freaky Tiki for coming from Florida. I don't want to forget anybody. I know a lot of you are already traveling to see us, and this is going to be even bigger when WellRED starts back up. And it'll be my third show in Alabama in a month.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Selfishly, I'm pumped for the first couple legs of the tours because I'm definitely driving to all them shits. That's super hits for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm just excited to get back out there and I'm writing a lot of stand up right now. I don't know how it's going to go, but I think actually, Drew, I'm gonna come up and are you gonna be in Nashville next Monday?
Let me think about what you're asking me. The 28th?
Yeah. I might do that new material Monday at Zany's.
I think I will be. I got to figure some things out because I'm doing a show at a strip club the 27th in Nashville.
Fun.
Come up to that.
I've never done that. You'd think that
I would either. That's why I said yes. That's the only reason I said yes.
Of course.
I don't even think
for people that don't know, that used to be like what stand-up comedy was.
Yeah,
like
that's how Leno got started.
Before comedy clubs became a thing, and certainly before they became widespread, comedians still existed, and there was a chunk of time there after vaudeville and before comedy clubs becoming widespread where comedians, the standard was you would do comedy shows at strip clubs or burlesque shows or whatever. You would open up for titties is what.
Did you ever see? Did you ever hear Leno talk about? I think when he was in Philly a lot, he used to open a lot for this same stripper lady, and her whole gimmick was she's kind of a bigger gal, and she would she would take a bath in a plastic bathtub on stage. Like that was that was the deal. But also Leno was a young dude, and she was super motherly and protective of him. And if people heckled him during the show, she would beat the shit out of him and then go do her thing. She would just go whop, 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 and then just get in her bathtub
to clean the blood off.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it used to be that, and the Playboy clubs, that was a big deal. Which same thing, different kind of gimmick, but and all of them ran by the mob.
If you started to hit, that meant you were now opening for big musicians. That was also very standard. Frank Sinatra often had a comedian, and fucking all of them. They got Smokey Robinson, fucking Glenn Can. any big act.
Bobby Slayton used to do a lot of that shit. That was
a lot of those guys did. Fucking Brad Garrett has some awesomely hilarious stories about doing that shit for a while. I mean, I'll butcher it, but a quick version, the only one I remember is he opened for Frank Sinatra for a while, and he just one night, after having done it for a little while, he just ate a dick one
I
night. The
bet.
crowd hated him, as I guess they often did, because like they're there for
They're to
fucking
see
Frank or
Sinatra.
whatever.
Nobody thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be a comedian.
Yeah, no one had any idea. Yeah, who the fuck is this guy? Whatever. And he was just bombing his ass off one night, and he goes at the end, he goes, "All right, it's like, okay, listen, guys, make sure and stick around for Frank, okay?" And then and then he left, and they didn't laugh at that either because they hadn't
Right.
laughed at anything he had said. But apparently, Frank Sinatra had this big fucking goomba, like, more than just like a manager, like his right hand man.
Yeah. That dude was connected as
fucking
fuck.
Jackie Fat Fingers or whatever the hell his name was. I don't remember.
That was his birth given name. His
Get
Christian
Frank
name.
is Eminem.
Yeah,
See,
old man Fat Fingers boy. Anyway, that
mom
guy
was a
who was always with
bathtub
Frank
stripper.
Sinatra, he came up to Brad Garrett afterwards. He was like, "Hey, stick around for Frank. The fuck is that supposed to mean?" And he's like, I was obviously kidding, whatever. And he's like, of course they're gonna fucking stick around for Frank. They came here for Frank. Nobody wants to fucking see you. You think they're not gonna stick around for Frank after that fucking bullshit, whatever. And he's like trying to explain to him that it was just clearly a joke, and he got fired.
Yeah.
And got moved to the Glenn Campbell tour, I think.
That'd been more fun.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, the 7-foot Jew and the redneck or whatever. He's like, Glenn Campbell saw on the first day. He's like, "You're good with ponies, right?" Tuning up in the car.
Brad Garrett's
fucking hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Like,
he's
also
one
of those that, like, in any interview or any situation, he's just always fucking funny.
He's also one of those dudes, and I kind of just follow me here. I kind of put him and Jeff Goldblum in this category of dudes who, when you see them and they're not playing a character or something like that, for a second you go, "Oh, damn, that's a really good looking dude." But they're so good at playing, like he played Robert, I live in my basement of my mom. So you never think of him like that. And Jeff Goldblum was always playing these weird kind of nerdy dudes. But Brad, my point is, Brad Garrett's like actually a super, in my opinion, super tall, dark, and handsome guy. That's how good he was at playing Robert. Like, I was convinced this dude was a dopey ass loser, when realistically, I mean, he was like a 6'5". I mean, hound. Like, he looks good.
And I feel like Goldblum's always been sexy though. What
I
role?
think I agree.
mainly.
I
mainly remember Jurassic Park though. There might be others I'm not remembering.
No, I think you're right. Like, I think he was all like, I was gonna say we are three straight dudes, but I'm pretty sure Cho is maybe the only one who's ever drawn that exact direct comparison. Brad Garrett and Jeff Goldblum. It's a very Cho line to draw, I feel like. However, I Googled Brad Garrett when you said this just to look at like headshots and stuff. And you're right. He is a very handsome guy, but I think what Drew said is accurate, which is that like
Goldblum's always
been considered like weird hot.
Like,
he has always been considered.
I believe you.
Adam Driver.
Hot and weird at the same time. I think.
He's Adam Driver's dad.
Yeah, right. That type of thing.
Well, I guess my thing is like, maybe I always knew like, okay, he's considered weird hot, but like I'm saying like now when I look at him, I'm like, I don't even see the weird. This is just a fucking smoke show of a man.
Have you ever seen him in real life? I didn't meet him.
You were telling me you saw him at the Diamond Lounge
and
you were like, man, he's fucking good looking.
He looked fantastic. He looked amazing, but he also looked exactly like
kind of wild.
Expect Jeff Goldblum to look like fucking scarves, fucking weird hat and shit. Like, he looked, I don't know, like a French magician or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna start doing that.
He looked wild.
I don't know if I was about to say something related to that, Corey. I don't know if you're famous enough yet. I think you gotta be famous.
Not yet.
Do that
like in
and
10
not
years.
be an asshole. I mean, it might be 5. I'm not trying to hold you back, but I'm just saying, like, if I see a guy dressed like that at the airport and it's not Jeff Goldblum or someone on his list, like if I don't know who it is, unless I'm
Jeff
pretty
Goldblum
convinced,
looking like that hits though.
Yes,
you're
it's
like,
what you want.
Thank God. If he was in sweatpants or something, you'd be disappointed.
You'd be furious.
Yeah.
I saw Lenny Kravitz riding a bicycle in the middle of July, in the middle of the day, through New York, full leather pants, scarf, and like a toboggan on his head. And I was like, yes, that is what he should be doing. He's got to keep up,
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, I look plenty ridiculous now at the airport, but I I think in 10 years I'll be due like a little, kind of a gimmick change, and I think that I would hit in a beret.
No, you have to be shirtless, a shirt over it open with your belt on.
Yeah, I could do that.
Glasses.
I'll probably have dropped the title by then, don't you think? I mean, who the fuck am I, Bruno Sammartino?
That'll be between you and Vince. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. God, if that motherfucker's still alive in 10 years, good Lord.
You would hit. I don't think anyone can name a type of hat that I wouldn't enjoy on your head.
That you wouldn't enjoy.
That's 60 to say. Hold on.
Come on.
He looks good in some hats, and in some hats he looks pleasing to me.
Yeah. Like a bowler hat.
Sure,
that ain't
but
it.
don't most people,
party hat.
That's
so
your
funny.
appeal. Like
party hat's the best.
The things that we enjoy, though, wouldn't most people also enjoy him in those hats? You know what I mean? Because he has that same. That's like his general effect he has on people. Like they'll be like, "No, look at that."
Yes, it still hits. I'm saying there's a line between, oh, that's a hitting hat. You should do that more often, or that should be your thing. And
that's definitely
wow, that really hits for me.
Yeah, in a picture.
Remember, we were like doing shows in Wisconsin, and we spent like 10 minutes in a truck stop just putting different cheese hats on them because we're in Wisconsin, so they had all these different styles of hats, like fucking cowboy hats and top hats and bowler hats, and they were all made out of cheese. And we were just putting them all on Cho's head and just laughing and shit.
What's ironic is I think I made us go in there because I wanted nougat.
Yeah, or cheese.
Or both.
Cheese.
Do you remember in Canada, that oil town we were in, where we kept putting stuff on his head that wasn't hats? I got a picture of him with like this cone looking thing, but it was just decoration.
You balanced stuff on my head.
Yeah, just decorations.
Yeah, I remember that.
We do that.
Because we found hats. We found two hats in that green room, in that condo. We found two cowboy hats. And so we were trying to put him in a hat too.
I remember specifically that evening. And the reason I remember that evening is because that was the very first appearance of a character on this podcast that has not been around in a very long time. And that's is Mr. Butt. And also, same time, Monsieur Derriere, because we were in Canada.
Yeah, less happy. That was the day I found out I got the call back for the Daily Show and then didn't get it 2 weeks later. But it was a good day that day.
Yeah.
There was hope.
Yeah, calm before the storm. Yeah, we had. I was thinking about that the other day.
Did it come through? Speaking of Derriere, it wasn't loud enough. Crap.
I didn't hear it. I was thinking the other day about how much I missed openly farting into a microphone in front of y'all. I can't wait till the first WellRED podcast we do back together. I'm certain that there's some longtime listeners that are like, yeah, us too. But I think that's gonna be wild because we haven't dude, most all of our podcast used to be us fairly fucking drunk.
Torch.
Yeah.
Hammered.
And listen, I don't know about you boys. It's hard to do that now, being off from it 3 days in a row. And
no, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know what y'all are planning, and I hope this doesn't alarm people. I'm always responsible when it comes to the show itself. But
me too.
We get back to doing that way, meaning on the road. I'm a be drinking like if we're like for
no,
sure.
Me too. No, I know
for sure I am. And then what'll happen is when I fly back home after that little stretch, I will want to fucking die.
Nothing
for
new.
At least a full day. Yeah, no, it ain't nothing new because of how shitty I'll feel after having done that for a little bit.
Right. But y'all are younger than me, but I'm saying it's now 3 days.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, it's been like the reason I've been telling my buddies, I'm like, man, I can't get I can't get drunk with y'all right now a lot. We got the tour coming up and I got stuff going on. It's not, I just can't. And they're like, you can't take one night off. And I'm like, that's not how many nights I'll have to take off. You know what I mean? I've got to take the one night off to get fucked up with y'all. Then I got to take the whole next day off because I literally can't function. And then the day after that, I can get stuff done, but I'm kind of requiring my creativity here and my brain's not going to be functioning at optimal. So no, I can't. One night of getting drunk is not just one night of getting drunk. Now on the road, the thing that you can do is keep drinking the next day. Yeah. And it'll be fine.
And again, just so people we're not, what we do is we sleep until forever and then get up and go to the show and again,
dude,
we're not waking up and drinking all day and then we're hammered at the show. drink a little bit at the show, and then once the show be over, then we go in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course we go, especially if the show was good.
Especially or if it was bad.
If it was real bad, yeah. If it was in the
And
middle,
if it was mediocre, we probably have to still.
yeah.
Yeah, you're like, man, that was weird. They're never mediocre. Blah, 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 blah.
Better try to make a hit. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, the first weekend that we talked about this, but like, yeah. When it comes to the show, sincerely, we are very professional, never hammered drunk, and do anything we can to make sure that it hits. This Birmingham weekend, though, I believe all that still to be true, but I'm also like, I don't remember, like, I can't remember what like when we was on the road, you have like, okay, I can have two before and you know what I mean? You start to get the levels of it. I don't remember what they were. And I'm like, I don't know where my brain's at.
Yeah, they probably have changed too.
Yeah, for sure.
Of what you can drink versus, if you got, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but that's probably true for you too. If I go back out there and try to just like hit it in exactly the same way that I often did in the past, then it's going to be a real bad return. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take it very slow.
Well,
sure.
You will at first if you're anything like me in these stores with DJ, who's not even drinking at all.
Really?
So it should be easier. Yeah, DJ's sober, California sober.
Right.
But I started it out like that. Just like, I think there was a couple shows that first weekend I didn't drink at all that whole day during the show at all. Then like one or two, and then you start to get tired, and then you have one good night, and then it's like, well, there's only one way through this, and two ways through this, and one of them involves a miserable 2 days and probably not great shows, and the other one involves kicking this can down the road and waking up, next Monday, which is what happened, and just being like,
well, sometimes you also just remember. Sometimes aside from, I'm tired or I get this, you just remember that drinking hits. You know what I mean?
Because when you're doing comedy.
Yeah. Drinking in different places than where I'm from. That's activities I'm a fan of.
For free?
For free. Oh my God. Getting drunk in a place I'm not from for free is probably my favorite thing on the whole world to do. World.
That just reminded me too, because of Dirt. Some fans of DJ and I came from like 90 minutes away to the Asheville show, and this was so great. My boy handed me some Kratom. He's like, "Hey, I brought you some Kratom." I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, thanks." And then I realized later that it was like it was opened and like half used. It was capsules.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't that weird. But I was like, that's very much an Into the Biscuit fan.
Leftovers.
Right Yeah, just like, hey, dude, I didn't use all that. You want it?
Yeah.
Great. Made me so happy.
Yeah, I brought this. That would be like the equivalent of someone giving me a Whitman sampler with like 5 of the caramel chocolates already gone. I'm like, this is just paper.
Well, I'm gonna go. I gotta go see my cousin, which I told you all about. But folks, come see WellRED. Me and DJ got just a couple more shows before WellRED starts back up. There's one in Kentucky, but you follow me, you can figure all that out. Boys, I'll talk to you next week, but I'll see you soon.
Well, this is going to be hard seeing you go, Drew. And you know what else is hard? My dick after I use some Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready when an opportunity arises. Boing, oing, 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 that's your wiener. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, well, by God, you'll receive your prescription. I don't know why I turned into Norm there. By God, you'll get your prescription. Best part, you old chunk of coal. It's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in the line at the pharmacy, which is my least favorite part. When I used to get these at the pharmacy, Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. You boys use this. I've told the story on here before. First time I ever used it on my wife, we got done. She turned around to me and she said, "What is going on?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she famously said, "That ain't your dick." And she was correct. It was not. It was a Blue Chew aided dick, meaning it was much, 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 much better. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free, FREE, free. When you use our promo code RED, R-E-D, at checkout, just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code RED to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more important details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast and making sure that we all get a new dick.
Get you a new dick. That's right. Thank you, Blue Chew. Also, get you a new mindset. If you got stress, feeling, if you'd like to feel more calm, sleep a little easier, if you got some, general soreness or whatnot that you want to address, well, what's better than CBD? We've been a long time proponents of CBD here on the show, and I want to talk to y'all about Caliper CBD. Who is sponsoring the podcast this week, which we appreciate. I like to use it for sleepy time and also belly stuff. My belly be wrong a lot. CBD helps with that, and it hits for me, especially Caliper, because Caliper is a little different. It's way more convenient. They send in these little individually wrapped packets of easily dissolvable powder. It's not like an oil you have to put under your tongue or anything like that, and it's pre-measured for you. You don't have to measure it yourself. They make it very easy. Caliper is the only clinically proven fast-acting CBD. It delivers 30 times more CBD in the first 30 minutes versus CBD oil. You can get all the benefits of CBD in just 10 minutes. Some oils can take over an hour to fully absorb. It was developed by food science experts with decades of experience and rigorously tested for purity and quality. Caliper CBD comes in convenient and easy to use packs. There's precisely 20 milligrams in each packet. It's always THC free, so you feel better without the high, and you don't have to measure anything yourself. Measuring don't hit. Numbers ain't it. No weird taste, no oily residue, and it mixes very easily into any food or drink of your choice. It is also all natural, vegan, non-GMO, free of fillers, added chemicals, and artificial flavors. So here's what you do. Get 20% off your first order when you use the promo code WellRED. That's WellRED at trycaliper.com/wellread. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they will give you a full refund. So go to trycaliper.com/wellread, and don't forget the promo code WellRED, WellRED, to get 20% off your first order with Caliper CBD. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
Skew, good stuff. Yeah, I like the flavors that they sent me. It tasted like, to me, I'm a big kid, but to me, it was like Fun Dip that made me sleep. I really, I enjoyed it. Another thing I'm enjoying is, by God, I've been watching too much. By God, my Mint Mobile subscription. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, we've learned anything. It's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard about Mint Mobile and how they offered premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month, 3 cups of coffee, I thought, what's the catch? What's the catch with Mint Mobile? But after speaking with them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce, your boy loves sauce, is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. By cutting out retail stores, there's no crazy overhead costs that get passed down to you in the form of mystery fees. Instead, Mint just passes on sweet savings directly to you. Y'all know your boy was just at the beach for a couple weeks. I got 2 phones. You know how it is. Thank you, Mint Mobile. 2 phones, but I got me a few on. So I take my phones down there. One of them is one of these big, it's our main one. It's the big wireless company. And I got my Mint Mobile. Guess what? Not only did in most areas I had the same service, in some areas I had better service with Mint Mobile. So I have decided that I'm going to keep Mint Mobile. I love it. It's really good. For people looking for extra savings, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, high-speed data on the fastest 5G network. Use your own phone. If you're not 100% satisfied, they'll send it back to you with their 7-day money-back guarantee. Just switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. Again, that's like 3 cups of coffee. To get your new wireless plan for $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/wellread. That's mintmobile.com/wellread, WELLRED. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/wellread. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for sponsoring the podcast and getting your boy the sweetest trap phone in the world.
Skew. All right. So,
where'd Drew go?
I'm
kidding.
Cousin.
Yeah, no, his cousin.
It's a cousin. He ain't fucking his cousin or nothing. We're not saying that.
No. But if he wants to, fucking his goddamn right.
It's a free country if that's what he wants to do. But that's not he's not fucking his cousin. He's just doing cousin stuff. And I don't mean fucking when I say that. Anyway.
Is it legal to fuck your cousin?
I believe it depends on the state and the cousin.
Right, like
states,
which
Mississippi, it's pretty well legal,
encouraged,
no matter what. Encouraged, in fact, and in other states,
because I know that like
state by state basis, and it is
illegal.
Second cousin, cool. First cousin, not cool. Some places, anything goes.
Because I know it's illegal it's illegal to fuck your sister because the deeper end, you know, like hell, that's the deeper end by Drive By Truckers, one of my favorite songs. I know it's illegal to fuck your sister, but with your cousins, like I legitimately know people who are married to their cousin. Like, I mean, hell, we all do. It's called the royal family, but like sincere, like around here, like I know some people who they're married, like that, you know, pussy was too good. What are you going to do? Like they had to lock it down regardless of how people looked at him. But I was
First
like,
cousin?
no, they're like third.
See,
it's like whatever at that point. Yeah.
Now, as a Southerner,
but they had the same last name, though.
Right. Well,
you know, I'm just saying it looked worse than it is.
You got to know the deal if you're gonna start cousin fucking.
Right. Right.
But having said that, I've always heard that in terms of like genetically, biologically, whatever the fuck, like if it ain't literally first cousin, like your parents are siblings or whatever,
yeah, you good.
It doesn't actually fucking matter or mean anything from a like incest or inbreeding perspective. And, you know, some of y'all are like, well, I ain't trying to have a baby with my cousin. Goddamn.
Yeah, I just want to
in
nail her.
which case, you know, go off, dog. It's fine.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's, if you're talking like third cousins, again, same last name makes it look a little worse, but yeah, third.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I've done it.
Who gives a fuck? So there you go.
I mean, now, okay, to defend myself a little bit, I didn't know till right afterwards. And also another qualifier that, no, listen, another so we were at,
you went right back to it, huh?
Yeah,
like
no,
saying in Joe Dirt.
I did. You're my sister. You're my dude. It was exactly like that. Well, we were in the first time. The first time we were we were at the University of Georgia, and we were at the Georgia Hotel, and there was this place called the Severe Weather Shelter, where it's this big concrete room where in case there's a tornado, you go. And I just knew this girl from high school, so I was just like, hey, I was drunk, and we just walked around the lobby of this hotel. I was like, hey, what's up? And she's like, no. And I was like, you want to go fool around and
we'll go fuck in a nighter hole.
But I swear, I was like, I just said, you want to go fool around in the tornado shelter? And like just throwing it out there, you know, we were super young, and we were just
sure shoot your shot.
And we were just at a Georgia game, and she was just like, yeah. So we go in there. We didn't go all the way, but we did that thing that's right before it that's better. You know, you know which one, you know what the one I mean. And I swear to God, we got done, and she was just like, did you know we're cousins?
Oh my God. You're shitting me. That's literally how it played out.
I swear to God. And I go, and now here's the deal.
What a peach right there.
If she just
Georgia peach.
If she just said that like right before it was over, I'd have went, cool.
Yeah,
you know,
sure, of course you would have.
But it was right after, when like you're feeling shame, even if everything was playing by the rule, everything was fine. And I just went, wait, what? And she goes, yeah. And I go, fucking how? And she goes, well, I mean, it's by marriage. And I go, oh shit.
That don't count.
Lead with that. So yeah,
sure.
Once I found out it was that, like, yeah, we definitely did that again, like with some time between, you know what I mean? Like time for me to think. But like, yeah, marriage, that ain't even a cousin.
That ain't.
That ain't even a cousin.
No, it's not. It's literally nothing. So,
yeah, it's nothing.
So fuck it. Literally. Go for
it. Me and my wife are as related as me and her.
Here's the stupid, silly thing I wanted to ask you about this week. It, as often is the case, originated from a Reddit post I saw. It said, it was an Ask Reddit post. It was like, if you could take your present day consciousness and transport it back in time to your 15-year-old self, right? So you have all your memories and life experiences and everything, but now you're not just 15 again. You're 15 again in the year in which you were 15. So you're back in time. If you could do that, A, would you do it? And B, what would you do? You know, and there was a lot of people doing Back to the Future stuff, like fucking, you know, I'd bet on all the Super Bowls, make a shitload of money. I'd be the first person to even know about Bitcoin, yada, yada, all these money making schemes. But I swear to God, this is how it went in my brain when I saw that. When I saw that question, and in my head, I thought, I was like, let's see, I turned 15 in April of 2001. Oh man, I'd like have to try and stop 9/11.
That don't hit.
I got bummed out. I was like, I'm gonna have to deal with 9/11 if I do this magic time travel brain stuff. So we could talk more about the general question of it if we want to, but specifically the 9/11 part.
Yeah.
When I realized that I was 15 in early 2001. So like, what would you do? Would you try and not literally attempt to stop 9/11? You were in Chickamauga. I was in Salina. How would you go about that? If you didn't try to stop it and this happened to you, will you just sit there and just watch 9/11 happen again? Like,
do you get to do this more
how's
than
that
once?
In the question,
Because if you can do it more than once,
no,
I'm definitely going to
question as
watch
posed,
9/11 first.
Do it once.
Okay.
It's a one-time thing.
I was about to say, if you can do it more than once, I'm definitely at least one time going to like watch 9/11 and just see, you know, like that'd be wild. You know, that'd be fucking crazy to see. I don't know, man, because like, you know, I'm a big comic book fan and I'm a big movie fan, and like judging based on just how all that works out, it's like, you know, if you fucking change anything, then everything changes. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, 9/11. And hey, let me say this. Me and you both have gone on the record. This podcast has a firm stance.
Yeah.
9/11 don't hit. No, it don't hit.
No.
It don't hit. But maybe 9/11 prevented other 9/11s. I don't know.
Let me ask you. I know what that's like the classic. If it was a sci-fi story about time travel, that's what would happen. I mean, there's been stories like that where it's like, I remember one, it was like a Twilight Zone or an Outer Limits episode or something where somebody went back in time and did the famous thing. They like killed Hitler as a baby, which has always been like fucked up to me. It's like, I know it's baby Hitler, but you still got to go
still
back
a baby.
Milk out a baby.
Yeah.
On this show, they literally murdered a baby. And what had happened was in the Twilight Zone episode, or whatever the show was, episode, Hitler had like a nanny. Baby Hitler had a nanny, and the
baby
nanny,
Hitler. That sounds like I immediately thought of Baby Shark.
When the time travel person killed Baby Hitler and bounced, the nanny replaced Baby Hitler with some other baby, like a hobo baby or like an orphanage baby.
Yeah,
and then the new baby Hitler grew up to be regular Hitler. You followed what? So it was like one of those things where it's like you can't change anything, like whatever.
Well, it's like in Groundhog's Day when Groundhog's Day when he keeps saving the homeless guy, and homeless guy keeps dying. He's like, this was always going to happen. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
You don't know how time travel actually works, and this and that. No one does. Is it even possible? Is it real? Whatever. So you don't know any of that. But if I hear you that you're like, you know, I read a lot of comic books, and I know that's a possibility. But does that mean you just wouldn't do it? Which is also a valid answer, because like you're Corey, you fucking famous now. Like, that would apply to a lesser degree, sure. That would apply to everything you do from the moment you go back. It wouldn't just be 9/11. So like, and if you're not going to change anything or do anything with the information, would you even do it in the first place? Or would you be like, you know what, I'm good?
Yeah, no, I mean, it could be argued that 9/11 made me who I am today. And I just said that so I could clip it out. Yeah. So just put that 3-second clip up. Listen to this episode. It could be argued that 9/11 made me who I am today. But that actually is true.
It's true. It's 100%.
It actually is true.
All the fucking
my worldview being the age that I was at like having to, because you were 15, I was 13. That's still, in the grand scheme of things, 13 and 15, and you're like kind of, now me and you had very different lives. You were more mature as a 13-year-old than I probably was as a 19-year-old, because you fucking had to be. You know what I mean? But 13 and 15, the world hasn't had a terrorist attack happen to it. And then all of a sudden, boom, here we are. Boom, there's cameras everywhere. Boom, this might happen again. Dude, like we'd barely shaken off Columbine. You know what I'm saying?
It objectively speaking changed so much about the culture of this entire country, and still the ripple effects are seen to this day. So literally any American, there's 9/11 shaped who you are. But like me specifically, it's very easy to trace, because I remember after it happened, they sent Army recruiters to our high school.
Of course.
And I literally attempted to sign up, but I was 15 and they told me I was too young. And then what happened was,
damn, you fucking idiot.
I know. Trash. I'm trash. That's what
dumb, stupid
trash. I literally attempted to sign up and they wouldn't let me because I was too young. And then by the time I became a senior by the time I was old enough, we had gone to war with Iraq, not just Afghanistan. We had done that. I had been in debate classes calling the other rednecks dumbasses for supporting the war in Iraq. Cause my whole liberal queerness had a lot to do with hating the Iraq war, George Bush, and all that.
Me too.
All that fallout from 9/11. So like it, you know,
I mean, dude,
Absolutely, 9/11 made me the man I am today.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know exactly how, but it's possible. Like, a domino falls a certain way. Like, if 9/11 doesn't happen and the Republican Party doesn't do what it does, then Barack Obama is never the front running candidate somehow. You know what I mean? Like, the Democratic Party doesn't get as overcharged and think they need some crazy change. And for me, a lot of who I am today was finding out, oh my God, like for real, where I'm from, you grow up, this actually kind of ties into critical race theory about why so many people are like not wanting to be taught there. Cause like where we're from, it really is so easy for a large group of people to be like, what? Before body cams and Twitter existed, of like where if a black guy gets shot, you can see it the next day. But before all that, it was pretty easy for people in a strictly white town to be like, yeah, racism's over. You know what I mean? Like, racism doesn't exist because you didn't see, like, there wasn't a Rodney King shit happening every day in front of your eyes. You'd be like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, what are you talking about? But like, so I kind of grew up with like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still assholes everywhere, but like the systemic part of it never really was like a thing. And also I'm like, it's not widespread. It's just one asshole. And then Barack Obama runs for president and I see so many people in my hometown just absolutely lose their goddamn mind and start saying some things that, again, I was taught to believe stopped being said after Martin Luther King died. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man, if that doesn't happen, there's part of me that might just hang around town and be like, what? Everything's good. People need to stop complaining. If you don't like it, why don't you move to fucking Sri Lanka or whatever? So yeah. And also like, there's also the selfish part of me that's like, don't get me wrong, is my career right now exactly where I want it to be? No, of course not. But it's trending in the right direction, and I don't want to do anything to fuck that up.
No, so I was going to say, I feel the need to say at some point, and I know whatever, if this is like taking all the fun out of what is clearly just a simple thought experiment.
No, that's what we do. That's this whole podcast, taking the fun out of something.
It's true. So true. But like, just for the record, if I was given the option, 100%, I would not do it. I would not.
No, I don't think I would either.
Because like, I don't have, because number one, and here's the sappy part, if I would have to try to now that would be 2001, which is fine, but for 8 years, whatever, I don't know, I'd try to make some money off sports betting.
You'd save DMX before you'd save 9/11.
Yeah, right. But by the time I got to 2009, I would have to like make sure that I met Katie,
right,
and
had the boys.
Yeah, right. Because otherwise I would lose the boys. It's like, first of all,
and
knowing everything I know
them.
now, I know I lose. So, right, I'd have to live 8 years. No, the Bishop was born in 2011. So I'd have to live 10 years without them. But I would also have the plan of like, I'm going to just recreate them when I get to that point in time. And I just don't want to, I just ain't trying.
But also,
like you said, like things are like, yeah, I've got.
You'd have to bust the right nut too.
I know, right? Exactly. What if I got that timeline, Katie pregnant, and it was like a girl or something? Don't hit. That would be wild, right? You know, like I'm expecting Bishop to come out and it's a girl.
Just like I said, you prevent one 9/11, you create another one.
Yeah, but so I wouldn't do it. Now,
I don't think
if I woke up tomorrow morning in the brain of my
it just happened
self in the year 2001. I don't know. I mean, I think I would try to, because I'm real. First off,
imagine this. You're not going to stop 9/11. You're just going to look like a crazy person.
I know. Well, I wanted to get into all that, and I was about to circle back to that because it's not as easy as just.
There's people thinking they're doing that right now.
I know,
with like pedophiles and shit.
I was definitely going to bring that up also, but I think I would try to start testing that whole butterfly effect theory in smaller ways.
Yeah,
early on. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd try to think back to. Maybe like a football game that I remember
y'all winning.
Yeah, well, it would be losing. We lost most all of them.
Oh yeah, y'all didn't hit.
We did not hit until my senior year. And not because of me, but my senior year we sort of hit for the first time in forever. So like I would be a sophomore in this scenario. I know we lost pretty much all of our fucking games my sophomore year. I don't know what I would do because it sure wouldn't be score a touchdown, but I would try to somehow influence the outcome of like a football game or something that I know how it went in the original timeline and see what happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and like judge that type of shit first and get an idea of whether what we were saying is actually how time works. Like you can't really fuck with all that stuff. If it seems like you couldn't, I guess I'd just sit back and fucking roll with the punches and just live
For
my life
sure.
over
Be like,
again
hey, I'm
and
immortal.
not even try to stop 9/11. But if it seemed like you could influence time, I would feel obligated to attempt to do something. What would that be? I have no fucking clue. Like to get a FBI hotline and start there early. I have no idea. Try to give them like, hey, tonight is whatever. But I couldn't pick out specific scores from ball games. I could do like a movie that's going to open that weekend, and I could be like, that movie's going to bomb.
Right.
And then when it bombed, but no one's no one's going to believe a 15-year-old slime in Tennessee because they predicted a movie bombing.
Right.
Also, that a terrorist
who's going to even listen
happen.
to you?
That's my point.
It's not like you can't even put it on the internet. I mean, you can, but
right. You could the early internet, but no one would give a shit. But if I don't know. That's interesting, actually. I think you could get people believing you on the internet if you started proving.
Yeah, of course you can get people believing you on the internet.
If you were
I'm
proving
saying
things right,
but not to the point of that it wouldn't happen. Just that I think in hindsight they would go, "Damn, man, he knew all along."
You don't have. You're probably right about that. You don't have I wouldn't have enough time because I would wake up in April.
From April to September, you ain't got enough time.
Right. But I would try to do something if I felt like I could. I don't fucking know. I know this is fucking creepy. It's just the type of thing that people bring up on Reddit when this type of shit comes up. Would you just be like celibate if this happened for a while? I mean, and imagine your friendships.
Oh my God, right. You can't
first
fucking
of all,
older person.
You'd have 15-year-old hormones and shit flowing through your body, which would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But you would be 34 or whatever in your brain. So these are all all your old best friends who are still your friends now, fucking 15-year-old Thompson and shit. Thompson's my brother. 15-year-old him walks through the door right now. I'll be like, how much time do I got to spend with this motherfucker?
Right. I know exactly what I'd do. People ain't gonna like the answer, but I'm gonna tell you what I would do. 33-year-old Corey knows all the kind of hot female teachers who fucked kids when I was 15. Like I know that now.
Take for sure.
But I didn't know them then, but I know them now. But when I go back to 15, I'll know them before they got caught doing it, and I'll go fuck them. And here's why. They were already going to do it anyway.
They were doing it anyway. So
they were doing it
helping some other kid out.
Absolutely. I'm helping some other kid
the
out.
bullet. Yeah.
I still get pussy. This person was going to commit a crime anyways. I'm completely absolved, and I'm having sex with not a minor. So there you go. Lawyered.
Buddy. The Cho strikes again.
I mean, pretty immediate too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know exactly what I'd do.
I've been thinking about it since you brought this shit up.
This is going to sound how it's going to sound, but here we go.
Whenever I say this is going to sound how it's going to sound is when I'm about to say something controversial, yet I believe with all of me.
Yeah. So that's just a thing that you're going to say.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
For that second part, at least. What would you do to get the one I would definitely, being poor white trash, I would absolutely attempt some of the like various money making
for
schemes.
Sure, dude.
So what would you attempt on that front? I think I would bet football is the thing I can remember the best for sure.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
would bet on like playoff games and shit like that.
I mean, dude, I would put some stock in Apple because Apple was already a thing. Apple was already Apple was already a thing then, but the iPhone ain't come out yet. So you could go. I would fucking, I would whatever much money I could put into Apple, I put into Apple. Probably I would definitely. How long do you get to stay in? Are you just this forever?
The way it was worded on, on Reddit, the thought experiment was like essentially you wake up tomorrow morning, it's your 15th birthday, and you have your whatever your age is now, you have that brain inside your 15-year-old body. And then from that point on, you just live your life again. You have gone back to when you were 15 and now you just live it forward. You basically just redo it all, but you don't come back to the present at any point until you live whatever 18 years and get back to the year 2021 organically.
I'll tell you what I'd do. I would go up to Harvard because I think it was right around this time. I'd put on a fucking ski mask. All right. I would beat Mark Zuckerberg within an inch of his goddamn life.
Yeah.
And all the while telling him like Donald Trump's going to run for fucking president and I'm from the goddamn future and you're going to fucking help him out with all these goddamn ads. But I swear to God, if you don't like what the fuck is happening to you right now, then you goddamn sure better not do that fucking shit. But then we're trading a little bit of career stuff.
Absolutely. But dude, we both would be so rich so quickly because
that it wouldn't matter. Who cares?
Gambling and stuff. We could just like make movies and shit for fun
Yeah.
or whatever the hell we wanted to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a thing. Like, aside from what all stuff, crazy magic stuff would you do? Like in my brain too, I'm just like, you know what? I would have gone to college, just regular. Like I'd have just regular gone to college.
Right.
Like I would have tried to go to honestly film school or something like that. Like I was such of the mind. That's like a real thing I regret all the time. Not like I don't regret not having student loans and shit like that. That ain't what I mean. I just mean like I was always of the mindset of just like, fuck college. I'll never regret this because the thing I do has nothing to do with there's no degree for being a comedian. And that's true. That's absolutely accurate. But like how many life skills that I'm just now kind of getting that I could totally use in comedy?
Very few.
You think so?
College is like
it's experience though. I would have been more open-minded quicker, probably.
Yeah, okay, that's probably true, I guess.
And I don't know. Like, I'm certain that there's way more people than not going, dude, you make a great living, you don't have student debt, and you didn't have to go to college. Shut the fuck up. Like, you're doing fine. You shouldn't regret it. I went and it sucked.
I mean, I don't use my degree at all. And if this happened to me, I definitely would go back to college just because I had such a good time.
Right.
And it was like, I'm very pro college.
You'll use your degree though one day in this business, because when we, like if you start crushing and then all of a sudden, you got a production company and you're all of a sudden that fucking business shit's going to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it might. Maybe. I don't even remember any of it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well,
that's the thing with college is like, you don't.
It's just a waste.
You were like, I would have learned so much useful skills. It's like, dude, you forget them all. If you're not using them like every day,
right?
If job you end up getting, you forget all that shit.
Right.
I don't care I've got a really good fucking memory and was always really good at school and taking tests and shit. And I've forgotten all of it pretty much. So like, it's more just, we've talked about all this before. It's just like proving that you can do a thing to people. You know what I mean? Whatever job you get into, you're going to figure it out while you're doing it for the most part. Super technical degrees like fucking engineers and shit like that.
Yeah, they got to do it.
That's different.
Doctors.
But for most people, you're going to learn it the same way as everybody else does, which is by doing it. Once you get into it, that's just kind of how it goes.
I mean, that's definitely how comedy works. There was no comedy. Like if there had have been a comedy university, maybe my dumbass 18-year-old self would have been like, all right. But
I think I get my ass whipped on day one. If I woke up tomorrow in 2001, Salina, Tennessee.
Well, yeah, you would. Me too, by the way.
By whoever, because like,
I wouldn't be able to hold it
I've been
in.
My 15-year-old body, which did not hit. And I just wouldn't be able to take it. The shit. I can remember how annoyed I was then
right?
Shit people would say, and
I know
about me as with an adult brain, like,
and that's the thing.
Oh my God, it would drive me fucking insane.
I think that's the thing too. Is like you like I do remember like at 15 already being like, God damn, some of my buddies are idiots.
Yeah, right.
But like, but I think what would happen is you went back as your 15-year-old self. You would start seeing stuff that you didn't even, you're like, oh my God.
Absolutely.
I didn't even realize how stupid. Hell, I didn't even think about that at that time. Holy fucking shit. Like, dude, I kind of believed that.
For sure.
You would honestly, it would be a fucking nightmare having both brains going off at the same time, because you would be having an existential crisis every fucking day. You're like, oh my God, this is who I used to be. It'd be like that scene in The Void, when The Void was, what was it? He was like, hey, do you remember that time? What was the Limp Bizkit line? Do you remember that? It was like, do you remember that time you wrote that girl a love letter in 8th grade using only lines from Limp Bizkit? And you're like, yes. And you're like, yeah, I remember too.
Yeah, right.
Like
just every out of nowhere.
Every moment of every day of your life
would be like that.
Would be that. Yeah. It might not be, it wouldn't be you saying it this time, but you would be seeing all your buddies and you would just realize how fucking dumb you are.
Yeah, it would be a fucking nightmare in so many ways, which is like, and this, I'm about to get Raven here, and I don't mean to. I'm trying to sound grateful, is how I'm trying to sound when I say this. But I think these types of thought experiments and stuff are proposed. I mean, they're just fun to talk about when you focus on the time travel parts of it and how that would all work. But I think that these types of things appeal to people who like really feel like they fucked up a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucked up in a couple of really big ways. There's a whole lot of people that's like, oh, if I could just do it all again. And thankfully, fucking knock on wood, so far in my life, I don't feel like that at all. Like you talk about like massive fundamental change, like forks in the road that I went through over the course of my life. Like if I could go back, would I go down the other path? I have almost none. Like there's very, very few major things that I would change at all. So it just doesn't appeal to me, having to deal with all the bullshit surrounding it.
This isn't like a conscious decision. I don't think any of me and my friends have made, but and you and Drew are this way too. Like in all of my friend groups, one thing that every single friend group has in common, in my opinion, is that like when we're all hanging out, like nobody's talking about the past. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like nobody, like we're talking about stuff that hits for us now, or like what we're going to do, or yada, yada, but like nobody's talking about the past. And then like every now and then, especially now that the vaccines were, I've like kind of gone and visited some of my, we'll say dumber friends. And like, that's all they're, like there's that stereotype of like, oh man, remember back on that play on fourth down, da, 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 da. Right. And the thing is that I realized getting older is that these, for the most, like there's a large group of people who voted for Donald Trump who were like, make America great again, like it used to be 1963. Those two, that's the thing that those people have in common.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that they're so fixated on the past, and like they just can't get out of it. Cause like, no, I'm fucking like 100% with you on like, if you hear somebody and when they're drunk, all they want to do is talk about some shit that happened 25 years ago. I bet you they got some fucked up ideas. I'm not saying, Ben, by the way, obviously there's not one goddamn thing wrong with every now and then you and your buddy going down memory lane. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But like, those people,
but I know
like,
what
that's
you're talking
all
about.
they do.
There's those guys in
and
towns
those
like
people
ours,
need
probably from anywhere.
Uncle Rico's. Like Uncle Rico would absolutely go back so that he could throw the football over them mountains,
Yeah.
I bet you would spend the first week jacking off a lot. And I say
that's
that
what
because
I'm saying. Like the idea that even if it's your current day brain, but it's put into your 15-year-old
hormones,
body, you still got all those hormones and shit that are going on physically in you. And that would be some wild shit.
Yes, it
to
would
go back and re-experience as an adult too, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking stiff breeze, your heart is a rock. Like, fucking like,
just and you know what to do with it for the, like, that's not good. Like,
no,
like you'd have to fucking keep that shit in check. You wouldn't need fucking blue chew. Promise you that shit.
No.
But yeah. This is a very me and you existential question.
So 9/11, yes, no.
I mean, I'm not
you just
for
let
it.
Ride.
I think I'm gonna let it, dude. I mean, in hindsight, it's like, what, like, it didn't hit again.
It did not hit. 9/11 did not hit.
But like, yeah, man, dude, I don't know. Like, it's like the devil, you know what I mean? Like, like 9/11 happened, but we've moved on.
Right. Well, like you said about Zuckerberg, that one, I guarantee you that if you went back and you murdered Mark Zuckerberg at Harvard before he invented Facebook, I 100% guarantee you some other thing would have been the Facebook instead of Facebook.
Of course.
Some shit that we don't even remember. Friendster, wasn't that a real thing? Friendster, I think something like that would have been what Facebook became 100%.
Well, I agree with you, but it's like Facebook in and of itself isn't necessarily bad. It's how it's allowed itself to be run and
There's
prop
no guarantee
up.
that Friendster or whatever.
No, I know. Of course.
Worse,
of course. No, I know. It's like, you like to think like, if the Winklevoss twins were only here right now, they would save us. Like, I doubt it.
If you somehow managed to stop 9/11, would there be, some they try it again and pull it off on a much larger scale or whatever? I mean, you just don't know with shit like that.
I tell you what I'd first do.
Fuck your teacher.
I absolutely would fuck my teacher, but I mean, this is gonna sound silly, but I'd go to Nashville and I'd warn Steve. I'd
so
warn
there you go.
I'd warn Steve McNair that I could control. One thing, I'll be like, Steve, listen, I know.
Get away from that bitch.
I know that fucking Dave and Buster's waitresses hits. I know that. We all know that. But this one right here, I'll show him a picture. You ever see her? Get out.
Ain't it.
Also, please don't go to the Ravens. Please go anywhere else. Of course, this one, there's butterflies flapping their wings all over this one too. But I would definitely warn Steve. I would do more to make sure that his death, even if he did, well, no, then I've got to live. No, we're going to save Steve McNair. Steve McNair would still be with us for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we've hit, right?
We have hit. Go to wellredcomedy.com. WELLRED comedy.com. We're going back on the road. Dates are on the website. Adding more dates every day. We just booked my birthday weekend in December, and I'm super pumped about it. And man, yeah, just go there, sign up for the newsletter. We can't wait to see you out there and tell these jokes.
Tell these jokes, baby.
All right.
Hold
up. I got a song.
There you go.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and ski.
Good night and ski. All right.
Later, butt fucker.